Yes, sir. We are back with another edition of Fast Break Bets presented by BettingPros. You know me, know the voice, know the guys. Me, really real, Villarreal, Terrell from Virginia here at your service. Kinda.
How about if you sweep it out?
What's the point? I can't do anything right.
You'll do fine.
Hey pal, you just blowing from Stupid Town?
Oh man. I mean, the day you bet on the bigs is the day one big leaves the game early with injury and the other one is in foul trouble, constant foul trouble throughout the entire game and never gets going. Man. And you know what? The only thing that I find solace in is that when I look around, the NBA landscape and a lot of people that I respect is the best way to say it. A lot of people that I respect in the NBA betting space, they're up and down too. Like they have some good days and some bad days in the start of this NBA season too. So I know it's not me. It's something a little bit off about this NBA season, but we adjust and then we find our way. And once we find our way, oh, this train gets rolling and it doesn't stop. And I mean, I want to get rolling. I want to find the way today on a Friday. I want to get rolling right now. So I have three plays for you. I have one game at the end that I do want to talk about that I am getting interested in. I am waiting on an injury report and we'll see. We'll go from there. But three plays that I for sure love in the NBA. Here's play number one. We are going to the early slate of games. By the way, hello, happy Friday. How are you doing? I hope everything is well. I hope you're on the way to work or you're listening to this, but you just got off work. It's the weekend. Uh 95 degrees out somewhere, probably not where you're at because it's winter time, but anything like that. So go have a great day. Just either have a great day or I hope you had a great day and have a great weekend. Get a whole bunch of football. I'm trying to spread some positivity in the air right now. So I hope everything is okay with you on your day. How is your day going or going to go? There we go. Now, I have a couple of games. We are going to the 7 o'clock window on the NBA Cup Friday. So these are all NBA Cup games. All of these games matter, quote unquote. So, with the first game on the slate, we are going to my New York Knicks at home playing against the lowly, well, I guess you could say lowly. They have the same amount of wins. Brooklyn Nets, who are on the road here, catching 10, 215.5 is total. Yeah, I want nothing to do with the Knicks in this spread. And the reasoning is because there's something wrong with the Knicks defense. I can directly point and tell you what it is in terms of Cat is not defending at all. They have no interior defense without Mitchell Robinson and Isaiah Hartenstein. And I think that's the thing that has gone very, very quiet in terms of the Knicks offseason because, they bring in Cat, they, finally move on from Randall. People been calling from that. They bring in Bridges, DiVincenzo goes, all these moving pieces on the Knicks this season. And the one that isn't talked about as much, probably because he's hurt right now, so you don't really get to see his impact for the Oklahoma City Thunder. That's Isaiah Hartenstein. When Mitchell Robinson went down, Isaiah Hartenstein was so big for the Knicks because he had interior defense. He was able to keep teams out of the paint. Look at this Knicks team right now. They're a Knicks team that one is 19th in defensive efficiency. That's not like Tibbs. They're 12th in opponents' points per game allowed, which I mean, that sounds okay, but that's not like Tibbs because they're typically top 10 in that arena. And then you go back and you look at the paint field goal percentage allowed. They're allowing 62% inside of the paint. That is 30th of 32 teams in the NBA. That is not like a New York Knicks defense. Not at all. Mindful. They're playing against the Nets team that is 12th in the NBA in terms of uh paint attempts allowed. They are uh 17th in terms of paint field goal percentage. They're in their own right are 28th of 32 teams in paint field goal percentage allowed. I think that this is going to be the kind of game where for the NBA Cup in a game that quote unquote matters to a lot of people and where points are valued more because you have the point differential, then you have total points in terms of the tiebreaker. So if you do care about these games, then you're going to be scoring a lot of points because you want to increase that point differential in case you tie with somebody else in the group or you want to have the most points scored. So there's a lot more incentive to score points in the NBA Cup, which is the reasoning for the NBA Cup. They're trying to find more value in these regular season games and up the level of competition. And so that could very well happen. Honestly, I think the Brooklyn Nets plus 10 is actually not a bad bet. But I don't even want to go that route. Just give me the points. I think Brooklyn's going to be able to score on the inside of this Knicks defense. And I think the Knicks are going to be able to score on Brooklyn. Like, I don't think Brooklyn is any world beater on defense by any means. So 215.5 feels really, really low for these two teams that I think in the NBA Cup and the fact that you add everything else around this little rivalry, they're going to be able to score it. So I could easily see this being a 116, 111 final score type thing. So, yeah, give me the over in the New York Knicks and Brooklyn Nets. Now, play number two, I'll take another over, and I will head over to Orlando on at home, laying 1.5 against the Philadelphia 76ers. Joel Embiid and Paul George are expected to play in this game. 212 is the total. I like the over 212 here. And they've already played this game. They played it the first game of the season, I believe it was. Yeah, first game of the season. Orlando. No, that wasn't the first game of the season. That was the preseason. I'm sorry. So, uh, nonetheless, I think that in this matchup, Orlando's going to be able to score. If you look at the past couple of games, they have been over this in two of the last three in this matchup. Joel Embiid doesn't look like himself. He could barely move at all in the Knicks game. And I don't think that's going to fare well for a team that in Orlando that can slash and get to the rim with Franz Wagner. They can score on the outside with Jalen Suggs. They started to really, really find their stride without Paolo Banchero. They played a grinded out game against Indiana. And now I think that, but look at the scoring before that Indiana game. And by the way, that Indiana game is the third time they played them this season, so I'm not surprised that that was a lower scoring game, but they played Charlotte, and Charlotte, they scored 114. They played the Wizards, scored 121. They played the Pelicans, scored 115. So the scoring's been up. They started to find their stride without Paolo Banchero, find ways to put the ball in the basket. And then I do think that Philadelphia's offense is going to look better. I think another game of Joel Embiid, and he's going to look a little bit more consistent on the offensive end. We know how he'll hunt for fouls, and so I think that he'll be able to stop the clock and put foul shots on the board as well. Paul George, I think it's a pretty solid matchup here in this one. I know Orlando's defense is really good, and I think that's the only thing that's concerning me is everybody else going to be able to contribute to the total. But this is a low total. This is 212. I can 100% see Orlando because I do think Orlando has a good possibility of winning the game here. I think that I could see Orlando scoring about what 115 and Philly being able to add at least 100. Like at least 100. I definitely think that isn't a possibility. There's a couple of ways, whether it's a blowout on one side or whether this is a competitive game that goes down the stretch with a little bit more scoring. I think we can get over the total of 212 here. I know it's a lower total. I know Orlando is an under team, but I think with Joel Embiid and Paul George in the second game, desperation starting to kick in. They're just going to continue to find ways to score the basketball again in a format that is incentivized for teams to score points, and they're going to be able to keep up in some way, shape, or form. But I think Orlando's offense is going to look a lot better against the Philly defense in this game, and they're going to be able to put up points in their own right. So yeah, I like an over here. Give me an over 212 in Philly and Orlando. Play number two. I just realized all three of these games are in the early slate, so I'm really glad that I do have something to look at the late slate. But here we go. Next game. Before we get to that, though, gotta make sure you all understand because I'm getting this player prop from the Betting Pros app. You need to get that Betting Pros app. Go, 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 go. If you haven't gotten it already, go get it right now. This is your opportunity. Guess what? The two plays that I just gave out, they're logged on the Betting Pros app. The Betting Pros app also gives you projections, and they love the over in both of those games. That's two of their favorite plays all day. So you can get that and more. You can get the prop bet cheat sheet, the prop bet analyzer, all of this stuff. Everything that I'm using in these episodes, I'm getting from the Betting Pros app. And so you can do it too. You can track it all there. You can sync your sports books, and you can have access to a whole bunch of information that just makes you a better handicapper. So, hey man, I've had a rough couple of days. If you feel like you can do better than me, I welcome the challenge and go in the Betting Pros app and start logging the picks. And that way you can prove it. You can prove it to the world. You can prove it to everybody that you are better than me. All right, let's see here. I got this kind of sort of from the Betting Pros app. I'm going to go ahead and read off the mindset of it real quick. So, Detroit Pistons are playing the Toronto Raptors in their game, and I'm going with Jalen Duren. And I'm going to take Jalen Duren to score a double double at plus 110. And so, this prop is not in the Betting Pros app, I will admit. However, what is in the app is wait, hold on. That's not Jalen Duren. There we go. All right. So, however, what is in the app is the app does love Jalen Duren's points and rebounds for the day. It's one of his favorite plays today. Jalen Duren has a points and rebounds prop of 22 and a half. They expect him to go over 25.6, 71% cover probability, 5-star bet rating. So, and he's been pretty good to the number recently. He's been over in 3 of the last 5 games. So, the I I saw that and I said, "Huh, that sounds really good." And then I thought about Toronto, and I know you can score on Toronto. Like, I know you can do that. So, if I know you can score, I know they have defensive lapses. I think that there could be a couple of pick and rolls, some design stuff, lob to the basket, and we can get to 10 points quite easily with Duren. But Duren's also a dog on the boards. And if you go look at the rebounds for opposing bigs that are really dominant on the boards that have played Toronto already this season, you, you have Zubac, who is, I think, leading the league in rebounds right now. He got 12 rebounds. Jokic, you already know how he gets down on the boards. He had 14 and 10 this season. Rudy Gobert had 12. So I think that he's gonna be able to take advantage, and while Jakob good rebounder, they're gonna be battling. I think that Duren can come down with 10 rebounds in the game. Double-doubles definitely seems in the realm of possibility here for him. I like that the prop bet cheat sheet likes the points and rebounds because that makes me feel better. I only need 20. I don't even need the other like 10 and 10, and I cash. And I think that can happen for us here. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take Jalen Duren. Double double here. I like the matchup. I like the over game. I think that there's going to be plenty of shot attempts for him to be able to get rebound chances on. So, yeah, Jalen Duren, double double plus 110. I like the over in the Brooklyn Nets and New York Knicks game. And I like the over in the Philadelphia 76ers and the Orlando Magic game. All right. Quick note. Warriors Grizzlies. I want to get down on this game in some way, shape, or form. I did want to play Warriors late 8 because I think this Warriors team is a cash cow wagon, and I think they are probably. I think it's a good chance the Warriors win the NBA Cup just because how good basketball they're playing. However, this is the game after the game, and they just had a big emotional game with Clay. And I understand that there could be a letdown against a Grizzlies team that swears up and down Golden State is one of their biggest rivals despite Job not playing and all the injuries. Plus, they have a lot of questionables. Desmond Bain is questionable. Vince Williams is questionable. So Santi Aldama, I think, is questionable as well. So I want to wait on the injury report because I do like the over as well. Both of those two teams have been really good to the over this season. So I'm curious if Desmond Bain is playing, if Scottie Pippen Jr. is playing. I think the offense will look better. Scottie Pippen Jr. could be in for a double-double with assist type game. So I'm waiting to see the ends on the Grizzlies side of the ball. I am interested in on the over. However, both of these two teams are really good to the under in the first half and really bad to the and really good to the over in the second half. So they're good to the under in the first half, good to the over in the second half. What does that say? If I look at this game and I think about live betting this game, I can get a better number on the over early in the game and then watch the points accumulate at the end of the game. And that may be a way that I'm looking at this as well. So there's a couple of ways that I'm thinking of looking and betting this game. I haven't gotten there yet. I'm waiting on the injury report, waiting on more information. So we'll wait on that. But nonetheless, those are the plays for the day. Give me a follow at reallyreal__ at Betting Pros on X and TikTok, at Betting Pros NFL on Instagram, and youtube.com/Betting Pros. Like, comment, subscribe, all of that. I appreciate all the support. And yeah, with that, that's it. I have nothing else to say, nothing else to do. No other way of ending the podcast. Just gonna end it like this. We are out of here.